good morning, and welcome to Legends Community Focus, right here on Legends 100.3. Mike McGann with you, as I always am, here on Legends Community Focus on the last Sunday of the month. Time is just flying by. We're 6 months away from Christmas Eve. Time is just, it's amazing. As Dick Robinson likes to say, it's later than it's ever been, and I'm not going to argue that logic. So, here on this radio program, we talk about all kinds of things. If it's of interest to you and the community, we are going to discuss it. We've talked about health, and we have talked about community organizations. Well, one of my primary interests, and in Legends Radio in general, is the arts. And a great organization, one of my favorites, in fact, is the Lake Worth Playhouse. Because when it comes to theater, when it comes to local theater, when it comes to providing opportunities, providing and preserving this art form on a local level, it doesn't get a whole lot better than the Lake Worth Playhouse. And I'm always so glad to have anyone affiliated with Lake Worth Playhouse in the studio. The website, by the way, to learn more and get your tickets is lakeworthplayhouse.org. lakeworthplayhouse.org, or you can call 561-586-6410. And I've got a nice little full studio this morning here on Legends Community Focus. And of course, my pal, Artistic Director Daniel, is with me. Hey, D.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having us here again.
It's always great to have you. And we also have some cast members from a show that is right on the horizon. And I just want to say good morning to Laura.
Hello.
Hello. To Mary.
Hey, Mike. Happy to be here.
Glad you're here too. And Kendall.
Hi, how are you?
I am outstanding and better because of the three of you. So,
that's good to
a lot of
know.
great stuff to talk about. Daniel, this show. I was born in 1972. Yes. I am a child of the 1980s. And this show, well, there are aspects of it that literally defined a generation. Which
yes.
is, yeah, let's talk about this show. What is it?
Well, it is based on the film from the 1980s, Flashdance.
Flashdance, an iconic one. Really
an iconic one. All the iconic moments are in the stage show as well,
yes.
as well as some additions, some new music.
Okay.
But we have some of the larger 80s hits from that film.
Oh, yeah.
And we're also going to perform this with a live band. So that's
really?
also exciting.
That
yes.
is beyond cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
A live band.
A live band.
And we're talking like What a Feeling.
What a Feeling, Maniac,
Maniac, yeah.
Gloria. I Love Rock and Roll.
Manhunt.
Yeah.
Manhunt.
I know, it gets better.
I know.
Yeah.
I just want the soundtrack.
It's going to
You
be
should come and see us.
fantastic soundtrack, super high energy,
Yeah.
great performers, and a great band. So we're really looking forward to this one.
It's going to be a great show. I believe it runs July 5th to the 22nd, right?
Yes.
Correct.
It's coming up, and I want to get into this. I want to learn about the show, some of the experiences, what people can expect when they attend Flashdance, again, July 5th through the 22nd at the Lake Worth Playhouse, and kind of get to know what the Lake Worth Playhouse and acting mean to the three of you, because the Lake Worth Playhouse really just does a fantastic job of protecting, preserving, and passing on when it comes to this art. And also when it comes to Flashdance, well, fashion is a huge part of it. So I'm interested to hear about the costuming as well. Everybody's kind of cracking up at this point, but between the oversized shirts and probably leg warmers.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Tons of leg
Tons of
warmers,
leg
right?
warmers.
It's a summer show.
It's a movement.
But, it is a tremendous, tremendous program. Again, running July 5th through 22nd at the Lake Worth Playhouse. So I want to find out from each one of you what roles you're playing and what people can expect and how it's been so far. Because I think you just finished Tech Week, and I'd like to find out about that too. Let's start with you, Laura.
Okay.
Laura Williams.
Yes.
Talk to me about Flashdance. Who are you playing? What can people expect?
Okay, so I am playing Alex Owens. She's the main character in the movie.
Okay.
And honestly, you can just expect a lot of cardio because that is pretty much the entire show. I have a jug on each side of the stage of water just for me.
Okay.
So you can expect everything. You can expect the mill, you can expect the bucket of water, you can expect all the leg warmers you can think of, and just a really good backstory. A lot of songs were added for the characters, so it's really good character development. It's a really good show.
Who is Alex?
Who is Alex?
Who is Alex? Tell me who that is.
I don't know. She's the lead character.
Yeah.
She works at a steel mill. She's super frisky. She's an 18-year-old girl, left home, moved to Pittsburgh.
Yes,
Pittsburgh. Into Pittsburgh, and she just, made a life for herself, but she has this huge dream to become a professional dancer. And she wants to become a member of the Shipley Academy. Okay. So pretty much we follow her whole story of how she auditions and getting in, and the whole "What a Feeling" audition dance at the end of the show is pretty iconic. So
yeah, it really is.
you can expect that.
One of the cool things about that, the way that I see it, is that that's a really empowering story.
Yes.
That's a story of someone fighting through adversity. Doing something that, you mentioned she's working in a steel mill, which is pretty far away from dance.
Yeah.
And developing a dream. And then achieving it. And that's such a fantastic story. And it's a timeless one. The fashions and the music are iconic for that era. But that story of empowerment, that story of struggle, that story of achieving a dream is a timeless story.
Yeah.
And I think it's relatable to anyone who sees the show.
Yeah.
It's a very, very powerful show.
It is.
Mary.
So I am playing Gloria.
Yes.
Gloria is Alex's best friend.
She who has the number.
Yes, she does sing Gloria as well. Now, what's really interesting about Gloria is the character Gloria did not exist in the original film Flashdance. She's actually a combination of two characters, of Jeannie and Tina. So they combined those two characters in the musical to form Gloria, who is a character that I am so excited to play because she is just such a rounded character. And without giving away too much, she goes through quite a lot in the show, so you really get to see a very big transition in her character. One of the things that is going to display that is actually her costuming. So again, without giving too much of it away, her costuming throughout the show is going to kind of aid in telling her story.
Sure.
So.
But again, it's a story of progress. It's a story of going through phases.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm just saying, again, that's timeless. That is something that everybody can relate to.
Absolutely.
And that's such a cool thing about this, because the story people think of, well, it's so 1980s. No, it really is a story for everybody.
Yeah.
And it covers generations. Kendall, award-winning Kendall.
I play the role of Tess.
Okay.
And Tess is also one of the four girls that Alex deals with a lot. We're friends, and our director has given us notes where we have very developed relationships because we all dance together at Harry's dance club. And there's two dance clubs in the show. There's Harry's and there's Cece's. And Cece's is more of an adult dance club, if you will. So we are all kind of dancing at the more PG-13 dance club, I guess you could say.
Okay.
But the character of Tess she's been through that whole adult dance club before. Sure. There's a whole song about it. And we kind of are just, the way that I'm taking this character is Tess has kind of been through Gloria's journey already, and she kind of advises her, hey, you don't want to do that. That's probably not the best thing to do. But Gloria just has this kind of desire to be famous, to be on MTV, in the movies and things like that, and she's almost willing to do whatever it takes. And I think my character has kind of been down that road already, and is trying to almost warn her on that journey, I guess. But yeah.
It's that kind of a teacher-student mentorship relationship as well. But again, that's a timeless story.
Yeah.
And just for those of you who may not know this, MTV used to play music.
Yeah.
You would have never have known
Yeah,
it.
we remember that.
That was a long time ago. But
I was a baby.
But yes, I was about 10 years old when it all started
What's
myself.
MTV?
Yes,
funny.
exactly. But that's the amazing thing about this, is because these three characters are all very well developed. They're all very well fleshed out. And they each have their own story that is a relatable story. And that just tells me that anyone can come and see the show and enjoy it. The other cool thing that I'm seeing here, and I've seen this anytime, Daniel, I've ever talked to people who work with the Lake Worth Playhouse, is the passion for those characters and the passion for the art.
Yes.
I'm seeing that coming off of Laura Marion Kendall, LMK over there. Really, it's palpable. There's a sense of joy and fulfillment in what they're doing, and a sense of pride in the show, which I think is so incredibly important when it comes to maintaining this art form locally.
Yes.
Daniel, let me talk to you a bit about your goals as far as that goes, because you are really doing an outstanding job here. What does it mean to you to maintain and preserve this art?
Honestly, it's my life. It's what I live and breathe for, and I was lucky enough to find the Lake Worth Playhouse a few years ago. Become the artistic director about a year ago. Officially about 6 months ago, but I started as the interim artistic director there. Sure. And you're right about the three ladies that we have here. They're three of our top performers over the years, and they're the type of actresses that will do whatever it takes, whether it's a lead role, a smaller role, whatever it takes. They have the art form and the Playhouse's best interests at heart. They're just as passionate about theater and about the Playhouse as I am. And that's what I look for in performers and for people to be involved with the Lake Worth Playhouse. So the three that are sitting across from you today are three of our best and our brightest.
They're impressing me. We had a lot of fun talking before the show went on. They're just tremendous people.
You know, when you think about selecting a show for a season or for a summer,
yes,
a lot of what you're talking about is what I thought about, empowerment, and you know, it's a timeless story,
yes,
and a good story to tell, and it's also a good showcase for some of our lead actresses and actresses that we have in our system.
Right.
And I couldn't be prouder or happier that the three of these ladies came out for the show and have worked so hard on it. So
it really is the Lake Worth Playhouse and that mission, as you said, Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
They learn whether it's working that lead role,
right?
Whether it is something that is a secondary role, or even people that are involved backstage.
Exactly.
And it's something that I've said about the Lake Worth Playhouse before. It teaches, how to put the show together, but it teaches life skills. I mean, this is about becoming a more well-rounded human being.
Yes.
When it comes to understanding your role on a team, when it comes to understanding how important each and every part is when it comes to painting the picture that you're creating on stage.
Yes.
Whatever role you're in. And I think that is not something that is just for actors. That is not just that it's something for set designers or directors.
Right.
That's a blueprint for how to live.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one of the reasons I think it's so important that this mission of the Lake Worth Playhouse continue to be fulfilled the way that it is. You can learn more about the Lake Worth Playhouse at lakeworthplayhouse.org. That is lakeworthplayhouse.org, lakeworthplayhouse.org, or you can call 586-6410. 561-586-6410. We are talking about Flashdance, which runs from July 5th through the 22nd. If you're just tuning in, this is Legends Community Focus. Mike McGann with you, along with my pal Daniel, artistic director at the Lake Worth Playhouse, as well as Lara Williams, Mary Grace, and Kendall Jackson, the just trifecta of beauty across the board from me this morning.
You can't tell, but I'm blushing, listeners.
There you go. So you can probably feel that blush. I could. But they're a group of just very impressive young women that I have with me today, who bring a real passion to what they're doing. They're respectful of the craft of acting. They're respectful of the story they're telling. And I'm just basing this on the conversation we've had. They're respectful of their audience as well, as far as wanting to give them the best show they can.
Oh, of course.
And make it an accessible, relatable show. And to me, that's what it's all about. Performing is very communicative. It's very back and forth with the audience and the performer.
Yeah.
And all three of you seem to have a deep understanding of that.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's missing a lot of the time. And that's one of the great things about what, Daniel, you are doing as an artistic director, is making sure that communication happens.
Yes.
It's really, again, lakeworthplayhouse.org is the website to check it out. Get your tickets there as well, July 5th through the 22nd. So Tech Week just wrapped up.
Yeah.
And we're headed toward the show. How did it go then? Anything interesting going on as far as Tech Week went? Anything you're looking forward to in particular when it comes to the show? How cold is the water?
It's perfect temperature, what I need after a long dance.
We actually warm it up to her preferred temperature.
I'm welcoming it always.
I would bet.
Great.
I would bet. And we're talking about a pretty iconic scene from the Flashdance film, which is the water scene.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And that's, again, I'm not going to get too into it. You haven't seen the movie. You need to check it out by seeing the show.
Yeah.
But it's so powerful. And there's so much of the style. And again, the music is something that a lot of people really love about that era.
So fun.
It's great.
I do.
Yes.
And I want to get your impression of that. What songs are your favorite ones to do? What do they mean to you? And what's it been like preparing for this?
Honestly, all the songs that I love the most are the ones you guys sing.
I was
really?
Gonna say, I love Maniac.
Yeah, I love
feel-
Maniac
I
too.
can feel it as I'm singing. And
Yeah.
I'm just,
Yeah.
And it's also the way it's staged is like we have all of the girls on stage, and it's just it's really
and
fun.
the
Exactly.
stretching scene.
you're gonna
Yeah.
want to dance. If you come to
Yeah.
the show, you're gonna want to dance.
No,
You're gonna
seriously,
wanna-
and dance with us, please. Like,
Yeah.
we love that.
Now, that does not mean get on the stage.
No.
Okay,
but
that's not...
Please don't charge your phone on the
interact.
stage either. That sometimes happens in Broadway and other venues. But you're welcome to get up and dance
Yeah.
in your
Yes,
spots.
that's fine. Stand there and enjoy it.
We encourage that.
But it's hard. I mean, I'm not much of a dancer. I joke that I have rhythm but no moves. And even...
Yeah,
right,
it's us too. You don't know.
Because you'll be in the dark. Nobody will see you.
Exactly.
You
See,
just
look at
stand
that,
up
right?
and dance
But that's the
along.
thing about Flashdance is that'll even get me going. It's
Yeah.
maniac, maniac. It's so
you'll
hard
feel it.
not
It's
to.
well known, and
Yeah.
you know.
And the script's very similar to the show.
Yeah.
Or the movie. It really doesn't
go too far from it. So
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff is the same, which is good.
It's and again, the story is one that you may or may not be familiar with, but you've got to check it out. Most people know the music, they know the story, they know the fashion.
Yes.
Off-the-shoulder fashions became
Yeah.
very big after Flashdance. Oversized sweatshirts, fishnets.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the Madonna style.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the Madonna,
There you go.
Cyndi Lauper kind of stuff.
And that's funny for me to think about because Madonna and Cyndi Lauper as well are two artists from the 1980s who are both considered to be revolutionary in their way as far as trends, as far as the sound of their music, as far as their styles. But they were influenced by Flashdance.
Yeah.
And it's funny because this show is the one that is based on the one that influenced the influencers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's deep.
And I
Well,
love
Steve.
that. I mean, to me, that's,
And
yes.
fashion is always cyclical, so we
It
even
really
see a lot
is.
of that coming back
Coming
into
back
style
today.
Yeah.
today. It's always
You're so right about that. This is the perfect time for this show. It's incredibly timely
Yeah.
too, because in a lot of ways the 80s are back in a big way. And I think I prefer saying, well, they never really left if you if you were any good at living your life. But again, Flashdance is such a wonderful show. It's coming to the Lake Worth Playhouse July 5th through the 22nd, and you can get your tickets to learn more. LakeWorthPlayhouse.org. That is LakeWorthPlayhouse.org. The phone number is 561-586-6410. 561-586-6410. I'm speaking today with Daniel, the artistic director at Lake Worth Playhouse. I've got Laura Williams, Mary Grace, and Kendall Jackson with me as well, talking about Flashdance. Now, I do, Daniel, want to discuss again the Lake Worth Playhouse itself. How can people help on your way to continue to produce these shows? Can people volunteer? Is the best way to be buying tickets? What would you like people to do to help you?
We need help in many facets.
Okay.
If you wanted to be a patron and to support us that way and buy a ticket to the show, that helps.
Okay.
If you're interested in volunteering, you could stop in our box office or give us a call at the number that you mentioned.
Sure.
Say you want to volunteer.
Okay.
We need ushers. We need backstage people. If you're interested in performing and you always had the inclination to do that, or you did that in the past and you'd like to get back on stage again, you can also
Sure.
audition for a show. We have open auditions for all of our shows every season. Also, if you'd like to donate money to the Lake Worth Playhouse, you can do that as well to support our mission. There are many ways to get involved, many things to do. If you're interested in costumes, if you're interested in any facet of theater,
Right.
we could use your help. We have a big family, we have a big organization, but
Right.
we always welcome new people in. So
I think that's a really important thing when it comes to supporting local arts, when it comes to helping people to live their dreams. I mean, there are no huge names who didn't start out on that level and make their way. And that kind of support that you can give the Lake Worth Playhouse, if you're listening to this program, is the support that helps people to live those dreams.
exactly.
And again, there's so many opportunities because you think, well, volunteering at the Lake Worth Playhouse, what would I be doing? I can't really sing. I'm not good at, well, what about costuming? What about just having an eye for these
Right.
things?
Yeah.
There are a lot of ways that you can help.
Right.
And you can certainly learn more about it at lakeworthplayhouse.org, lakeworthplayhouse.org, or by calling 561-586-6410. And donations, that's always a great way to help any organization out.
Yes, we're a registered 501c3
Right.
nonprofit organization. And yes, I mean, ticket sales help, but they're usually not enough. We usually need some extra help to stage these shows. That, we're ambitious in what we like to present.
Yes.
And sometimes we do need the support to help to present them. So.
And it's a great way to help out. I mean,
Yes.
so you can make that call again, 561-586-6410, and just say, I'd like to make a donation. Can that be done through the website as well, Daniel?
Yes.
Great. So go to lakeworthplayhouse.org, and
Right.
you can find out more about it.
There's a link on there to donate as well. Yeah.
I've been, over the past few minutes, just continuing to be impressed with Laura, Mary, and Kendall. Not only as
And we've been
performers
silent.
and with
I
great
know.
personalities, but listening to what you were saying and catching that passion. And that's something that a lot of people are sort of afraid to do. There's a lot of fear when it comes to pursuing a passion. And the three of you are obviously doing something right. And I just want to learn a bit about you and your passion for this. When it comes to supporting the Lake Worth Playhouse, I want you to get an idea of who you're helping to support and the kind of dreams that you can help to build. So let's just go straight across from left to right or right to left, depending upon which way you're facing. And let's
my
start with Laura. Laura, what does acting mean to you? What does this performance art mean to you?
Honestly, just performing is such an incredible release for me, and I know for everybody else that I'm on stage with. We do this because we love it,
Right.
you know, and we work with people that are so supportive and love the same thing.
Yes.
So, I mean, just being on stage with them in general is awesome and amazing. And Lakewood Playhouse specifically has such a family-oriented place, you know?
Right.
Like, we come back to this place almost every single year because we want to work with these people again and again and again. And we've all worked at other theaters around Florida, and, like, honestly, you can't find that anywhere else but Lakewood Playhouse. So I think that's why we're all here. We're all local. We all do this because we love it. So, I mean, theater for me, like I said, it's just that emotional release that we all love to have, and we find it through theater. So
Is that sense of a sense of camaraderie, and that well, earlier I think I said being in the trenches, and that's kind of what it is. You've grown together that way.
yeah.
Mary, how about you? Talk to me a bit about what it means to you.
So I've been singing, acting, and a little bit of dancing since I was a little girl. Classically trained singer for about 9 years with a very wonderful opera singer named Rosemary Krause.
Okay.
And for me, I always knew that I loved performing. I think my first stage show, I was probably 7 or 8.
Right.
You know, started out doing that. I always knew that I loved it. And for me personally, a lot of actors, their dream is Broadway, and people look at me and they go, so you moved from New York to Florida, what do you do? And I said, no, believe it or not, Florida has a wonderful theater community in South Florida.
Oh, it's a cultural hub in
Yeah.
a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, downtown Lake Worth is a huge part of that in general.
Yes,
Yeah.
It really
absolutely is. And, you know, so I kind of ruled out pretty early on that Broadway just in particular wasn't for me. That wasn't my particular drive. I always felt like if you have a good audience, an audience is an audience. I get that same feeling of satisfaction of being able to entertain somebody. It doesn't matter if it's a Broadway stage or if it's a non-Broadway stage. And the Lake Worth Playhouse never fails to provide fabulous audiences for us to perform in front of. And I'm very grateful to be able to do that. To me, I feel like that is a gift that you know is given to me, that I'm just able to perform, to share this with other people, and to entertain people. And I've had people come up to me after a show that I thought, you know, maybe I didn't do so good that night or something like that, you know, having an off day, and say, oh my God, thank you so much, because you just made my day, or you just singing that song brought back a memory, or whatever it is. And I mean, that's what they provide here.
It's
You
that
know,
back and
it's
forth that
incredible.
We mentioned earlier, there's a communication there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
you're giving to the audience and also receiving.
It is
Yeah.
absolutely a give and take.
Yeah,
it is
it's a
100%
relationship for sure.
symbiotic
It
relationship
really
with
is,
the
and
audience.
that's the performer-audience relationship, and that's true every single time you're on stage.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly important. But you're right, the Lake Worth Playhouse provides a very passionate base of fans, and there's a lot of gratitude on both sides. It's a very cool thing to see, and that's insightful. Kendall,
Yes.
the award-winning.
You keep saying that, and I don't tell anyone because I just don't want to.
I know, and I
change
just
your
say
name
that
to
to mess
that.
with
I
you a
know,
bit.
right?
Okay.
But I would love to hear your thoughts on this as well.
Okay, my thoughts. The Lake Worth Playhouse is just it's home for all of us. I could have the worst possible day. My life could be turned upside down, and at 7 o'clock I get to go to rehearsal, and I get to forget everything bad that has happened to me.
Wow.
Yeah, like 2018, my whole life has kind of like changed, but the constant has been Flashdance, and it has been this show.
Right.
So I'm so honored that we keep like having the opportunity to come back. Performing is such a passion of all of ours. I've also been doing it like since I was young, and it just feels right. Like you step onto that stage, and I just feel so thankful to be there and to get the opportunity to perform in these shows, especially such a high energy show like Flashdance.
Right.
It's so fun for us. Laura and I actually did Rock of Ages a couple of summers ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, I
and
love that show.
it was so much fun.
we
and
were
this
living.
is we were living our best life. Yeah, but it's very reminiscent of that as
Very
well.
similar, yes.
It's such a fun show, and I've also met some of my closest friends through Lake Worth Playhouse as well. It's such a community there,
Right.
and people that come, like I don't ever want to leave. You don't ever want to leave the Lake Worth Playhouse.
Yeah.
It's just comfortable, and still you get to create amazing content, which is just the best goal that you could ever have.
I mean, camaraderie, opportunity, passion.
Yeah.
These are such important things, and I just see the way it comes together with the three of you.
We like each other.
Yeah.
And I think that Daniel, you've got a lot to be proud of in terms of this show and also in terms of the Lake Worth Playhouse in general and what you're putting together. So kudos to you.
Oh, thank you. And I'd be remiss, too, if I didn't mention our fantastic director for the show, Debbie Marcucci.
Yes,
Debbie.
We love Debbie.
Yeah, she's been fantastic.
Okay.
She is fairly new to the area,
All right.
and I'm lucky to have come across her and hired her for this production.
Okay.
I couldn't say enough good things about her. Also, our choreographer, Cassie Myler, and our stage manager, Phyllis Caffarelli.
All right.
That triumvirate has been
Phyllis,
essential.
Cassie, Debbie.
Yes.
And then Daniel.
And Roger.
Right.
We love Roger.
We love Roger.
And
as
Roger
well.
He's good
Blankenship,
with
our
names.
music
Yeah.
director as well.
So Roger is there as well.
Yes.
Oh, yes. And Laura and Mary and Kendall.
Yes.
And Mike McGann.
And the LMK.
And time is flying by. We're just about out of it. But I want to just say once again that there are so many ways that you can help the Lake Worth Playhouse to continue this mission and to continue to provide that experience for people like the young ladies that are in the studio with me today. So many ways to do it. Buy a ticket to the show. You'll enjoy the show and you're helping to support it. You can do that at lakeworthplayhouse.org. or by calling 561-586-6410. You can make financial donations. They're a 501c3. You get the tax write-off and you're helping. You can volunteer in so many ways. Flashdance is the show to see. It's going to be just incredible. The music, the fashion, the passion. Wow, that worked out really well.
That was it. I mean, you should be in our show.
That was a happy accident.
That is so
I mean, that was a take your passion.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, you need a job?
Again,
you can
1972.
understudy
All right.
someone.
Yeah, I get it. But, check out the show. It runs July 5th through the 22nd at the Lake Worth Playhouse, lakeworthplayhouse.org, 561-586-6410. I have had with me Laura Williams, thank you.
Hello. Thank you so much.
Mary Grace, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us, Mike.
Kendall Jackson, very great to meet you as well.
Thank you. You too.
And Daniel, always good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Anytime. I love having you all here. This has been Legends Community Focus on Legends 100.3. Happy Sunday. Stick around. Lots more legendary programming on the way. Don't you go anywhere.